Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Gamefromscratch, and if there is one super easy job out there, it has to be the brand management consultant over at Microsoft, specifically their gaming division, because, well, they can get away with the dumbest things ever. Let's go ahead. They just did a rebrand. Xbox is now got a bold new name. It is now Xbox, not Bix, Box. Yes, all caps, Xbox. We also have an exciting new logo to go along with it. So here you can see the evolution of Xbox logos over the year. And here we are going very retro, to be honest. It's almost like they went back to the aesthetics of this logo and just mashed them together. But there's more to it than the branding. There's a lot of things going on in Xbox world right now, but I just want you to be aware, branding in Xbox gets very confusing. Because there was a while there, they actually literally had the slogan, everything is in Xbox. And then for a while they said, no, we want to make everything and brand it as Microsoft something, Microsoft Gaming on Xbox, Microsoft Gaming on PC. And this is all relevant because this is specifically about Xbox on PC, and more specifically about Godot. And it gets confusing, and I apologize for that. But basically, what has just happened is Microsoft have just released a sample, which is actually 4 different GD extensions that show you how to use Xbox on a PC. Now, this is not specifically for Xbox consoles. Very specifically, this is not for consoles. This is built specifically for Xbox on PC. It does not include support for Xbox Series X or S or Xbox One. You need to have a license key to get those. But it is going to show you how to wrap some of the very most important APIs in those ecosystems. So it kind of still is in a roundabout way. But anyways, the cool news here is that Microsoft have just released this MIT licensed sample, which shows Godot developers how to use various different things. Those various different things are the Microsoft GDK platform services, Xbox services, PlayFab plus core services, multiplayer, their lobbying, matchmaking, and so on, game saving, as well as game input. By the way, a lot of those things are cross-platform, so they're not Xbox ecosystem only, especially when it comes to PlayFab. It's their online cloud shared services across game engines. So the first thing, the core thing of all of this is the Microsoft Game Development Kit. And this is where it gets even more confusing because what they've done in this sample is wrapped the Game Development Kit into a GD extension, which is very cool. However, GDK aims to provide developers with the essential tools and resources to create amazing games for the Xbox ecosystem. Whether you are targeting PC, console, or cloud gaming, the GDK has you covered. Yeah, so even though this is for Xbox on PC, if you have that license, it should also be applicable for Xbox on consoles. So that's really all I'm saying here. So GDK, wide range of tools and APIs support game development, cross-platform development, so Windows, PC, Xbox, consoles, cloud gaming, and so on, and fully documented. So details of it are here, but this is the core SDK for doing game development across Microsoft platforms. On top of that, we also have PlayFab. This is a unified SDK over their various different cloud services. This is things like online matchmaking, lobbies, achievements, and so on. But as you can see here, it's available for Windows, Xbox, but also like Steam Deck, PlayStation 4 and 5, Nintendo Switch, and so on. Although they use different SDKs once again, so you see when you're dealing with Windows and Xbox, it is the GDK that you're using. Yeah, it's confusing, but you get an idea. These are the features that are available. So this stuff is actually very cross-platform that they have wrapped here, the Play services stuff. So all the PlayFab stuff, it is all pretty cross-platform by its nature as well. And then Game Input is their next generation input API for like abstracting away low-level input, things like controllers and keyboards, mouse, and so on. This used to be called X Input. Basically, it's a cross-platform SDK for doing handling input development. So they have wrapped all those things together into something called the Xbox Godot sample. This is available under the MIT license. If you want to go ahead and build it, basically instructions are available here. You will need to have a C++ toolchain installed. On top of that, you also need to use PowerShell to build it. The instructions are available here. Under Getting Started, they do have details on the actual build process. It's fairly straightforward as long as you are set up right. So basically just clone the repository down and build it and hope that your platform is set up correctly. Again, MIT license, which is very cool, but the key part of this one is going to be here. So you go into add-ons right here, you're going to find there are 4 sets of add-ons in this. These are all GD extensions, by the way, so these are written in C++. We have this one. This is handling the input handling. So here you can see again, this is for mapping direct input, or sorry, game input over to the Godot way of doing things. Then we've got, again, the wrapper around all of GDK. So again, C++, this shows you how to get achievements are matched in here, display handling, UI layers, all the stuff that you need to do games for the most part has been wrapped here. This is the primary gaming SDK for Xbox on PC, but also for Xbox. So in general, it has all been wrapped here as available as a GD extension. But once again, to use this on an Xbox, you do need to have a license. And then, of course, we have the PlayFab stuff here as well. This is that online multiplayer leaderboards and so on. If you want to use their services for providing that kind of stuff, you can do so here. So that is what the 3 sets of GD extensions they've created. And then this one, honestly, I don't really know what this does other than it might be a wrapper that's required. I'm not sure, to be honest, so I'm not going to tell you either way. The key thing here is if you want to go ahead and check this one out, you can open up the sample. Now, you will have had to have built the project to do so. And then we got this first one. This is a showcase of how to do things like sign in, achievements, leaderboards, game saves, and lobbying, and so on. The thing about this one is you are going to need to set up and authenticate using server-side keys, things I don't have, so I can't showcase it to you. And then we have this other one here, much more straightforward. This is the mapping for handling their low-level input SDK called Game Input. So there is, I've opened that project up for that. You can see it right here. So here you can see very simple game level there. Let me go ahead and run that. And what you're going to notice here, so we run it, and it's pulled all of my various different input devices. So I have 5 installed. Let me just turn on my controller right here. And you're going to notice it, boom, picks it up right there. Interestingly enough, as a keyboard. It might be because it's an Elite. Give it a second. It will also pick it up as a controller. So you see handling the left and right state. And then we also got a jump state on handling A button press. So this is using Microsoft's low-level input handling. It's also, so again, to jump, I'm hitting the A button, like what you see right there. Well, that is mapping back to the way that Godot does things, input mapping A. Now, is there a specific reason why you would need to use game input over the built-in logic inside of Godot? Honestly, the only thing I can think of is this. Here. If you want to handle the hot reload, the lower level stuff, this has, so you're going to see it's got the GD extension registers these callback events that will be fired when you attach a device in. It gives you a little bit more low-level detail. I don't know why you would specifically need to use game input over Godot's logic, other than I don't think Godot out of the box handles hot swapping. It may, though. I'm not 100% certain, but that is one of the examples there. It gives you an idea, at least, of what this is all capable of. But at the end of the day, this is it. Now, one of the most interesting things right here, I think, is just the fact that Microsoft have noticed the Godot ecosystem and are providing tools for it. I think that's pretty cool. So we got a couple people at Xbox. We got 5 people have contributed to this particular project. Again, the majority of this is available in C++. It is MIT licensed. Again, just be aware, this isn't technically for Xbox. This is for Xbox on PC because, once again, when it comes to branding, it's the most confusing world in, Xbox has always been awful at this. Anyways, let me know what you think. Comments down below. I'll talk to you all later. Goodbye.